Hi guys. I know it's been a minute since I've posted, but I have to say something because this has been bugging me so much. And I posted something on TikTok and I've got about a little over 900 views on it. Please excuse the misspelling and missing of words, the grammar part to it. Anyways, I need to say this because I feel like this is so important. And I don't want to be quoted on any of this either because I don't have all of the facts and I am only seeing from an audience perspective in this situation. So this does not get taken into any kind of consideration. Mine is just an opinion. I have no idea how many of you have been watching the Lindsay Clancy trial or even know what's all going on with that. The gist behind it is that she murdered her 3 children and then tried to commit suicide. And I can't remember all the ages to it because again, I'm trying to avoid social media as much as I can due to my mental health, but this needs to be said. She's on trial for this. This is what I have to say about it. This is a serious thing to think about. Women who struggle with postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, or any severe mental illness after having a child needs help. The postpartum depression is, so like it starts with baby blues. And so that's just like, some days you get just kind of blue. And then like the postpartum depression is like a whole depressive state. You don't want to hold the baby, do anything with the baby, none of it, right? And like, you're just like, no. And then of course, from what I'm seeing and understanding from the videos that I've been watching and the research, or half research I should say, that I've been doing on it, postpartum psychosis is something that's very serious and only happens in a small amount of women. And this is something that we as a nation need to suck up and deal with. So she had a severe case of postpartum psychosis. I'm pretty sure you can hear what's going on in the background, and I really don't care. Not like I can't edit it. Just have a game in the background, so. I wonder if I could just turn it off. Well, hello guys, welcome to the mess of Kendra. Okay, so postpartum psychosis is like a very dangerous postpartum depression thing. In her case, sorry, I'm shaking, so the video is gonna be a little In her case, she told her husband, she told her mom, she talked to doctors, she was in and out of clinics, she had medication that was not regular or religious. Nobody believed that there was anything going on with her. And she was screaming for help. Now, the only reason why this is touching me, and again, I need you guys to know, I'm not some political follower, court follower, or any of that other stuff. Like, the politics and stuff can stay completely off of my page and I will strictly focus on mental health, but this is mental health. So this is why I'm posting this. For a woman who struggled with that and nobody was there for her, that's sad. I'm pretty sure a good portion of a lot of women on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever that they post their videos and stuff, it's all over there. And there are women out there that are like, I went through it. I had no help. It's a real thing. We need to stand together. It is a real thing. My daughter's 13. And that's really hard for me to comprehend because she's getting to that point in her life where she doesn't need me. And it's hard, but that's beside the point. I honestly probably should have been diagnosed with postpartum depression, but I didn't say anything because 13 years ago, mental health was still not something that people looked at as it's okay. We're now getting into this era of things where people are like, I struggle with bipolar. I could possibly have schizophrenia. I have borderline personality disorder. I have autism. I have ADHD. And what should have happened. Now, I know that in Lindsay's case, this was almost like 3 years ago. And everything can change in a year, 2, 10, whatever. It can change. So it sucks that there was nobody there for her. But the fact that she said something and was trying to express to people about what she said is what's sad. In my case, I didn't say anything because I was scared. I was like scared that if sorry, my video. I was scared that if I had said that I was struggling mentally after having a baby, that I wouldn't have my child and that they might take my child away from me. And instead of me being scared about it, I should have said something. I am so many years old now, getting the help that I needed that I should have had in my younger years and probably while I was being a new mom. And I'm still a mom and she's going through her teenage years, so it's still new. But all I'm saying is that this is a thing. This needs to be said. We need to talk about it. We need to be comfortable with it. And we can't constantly make it seem like it's always the woman's fault. Now, I don't want this video to turn sexist in any which way, shape, or form, because I could sit here and preach about women's rights and how I feel about it. But I'm going to say this one thing. If you are with a man or a woman, depending on where you are, because I don't want to be completely sexist with any of it. If your partner or significant other can see that you're struggling and they are not there to help you, that should be like the biggest red flag. My partner did not help me through any of it. And it's still a struggle bus, but she's 13 now. So, I mean, it's not like terrible. But all I'm saying is that, oh my God, excuse me, guys. My goodness. All I'm saying is that neighbors, strangers, your priest, people you talk to in the store, anyone, just ask for help, because someone out there will help you. I am a firm believer that if you help, karma comes your good way. I have shared my wealth, whatever wealth it is that I have, because I can tell you right now, I'm not rich and I'm no creator. This is just something that I do on and off. But I help where I can help. Whether that means I'm a listening ear, whether I make dinner for a family, whether I'm just taking somebody out on a walk, or to the park so that the kids can run around, and moms and dads or spouses, significant others can all get reset. Because as a mom, it is hard to function after you have a child. It is hard to realize who you are after you have a child. You know your role is mom. Immediately, that's your role. You are mom. So you're the protector, you teach, you do all the things a mother's supposed to do, right? But when women don't feel safe or have the support that they should have, they don't ask for help. And in this case, which is completely opposite, she asked for help. She screamed at the top of her lungs for help. And nobody was there for her. As a mom to another mom, I'm sorry that you didn't have anybody. And if we lived in the same state and we were friends, I would have been there for you, because that's what we do. Something about the human race that a lot of people can't stand, and that's why a lot of people isolate themselves, which can also cause severe mental illness. Depression is one of them. Anxiety comes with it because of how you isolate. We need to be around people who love us, care about us, want to watch us succeed, and want to be there for us. If we are constantly isolated, we don't know how to act in public. We don't know how to comprehend things. We may overreact or underreact or be weird, and nobody can honestly really understand why a person is that way. If they isolate, that's why. There's so many people out there that don't want to isolate, and I'm one of them. I like having friends. I like having a social life. It's fun. But my personal life can make my social life. But that's not, again, this is not the whole point about this whole video. This is just a mom from another mom who cares and who is watching and who is being touched by something that is so personal. It's just sad. And that's why I said, I don't want, if men watch this video, I don't need them to have snarky comments like, oh, well, you're a feminist. There's a line between feminist and me. I'm kind of like in between. I will fight tooth and nail for my rights and things like that. But again, this is not the whole point of this video. This video is to let people know that postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and baby blues, any kind of mental health issue is something that needs to be heard. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be there. And if nobody can acknowledge it, be there for you, or any of it, you turn into this giant tornado of emotions that you don't even know where you're supposed to go. You don't know how you're supposed to stand, talk, eat, brush your teeth, brush your hair, take a shower. You don't know how to do any of that because you've been inside this comfortable isolation bubble, which causes mental health issues. And I know that I haven't talked too much about my mental health issues, and again, trying not to like make this about anybody else, just more of awareness. But I have severe mental health issues. I was recently diagnosed with autism and ADHD. I need to go get into another psychologist who does bipolar and borderline personality disorder. There's a possibility for those two. But again, I'm not about to post the trauma that I went through on social media, because that is not something that people need to understand or hear. that stuff between myself and my therapist, or just myself in general. But mental health needs to be touched. Mental health needs to be heard. And we need to start actually making something about it, and not just brushing it under the rug and saying, you're fine, get up, brush the dirt off of you, tough it up, everything's gonna be okay. All of those phrases are not phrases for people who struggle with mental health that they want to hear. Sometimes all they want to hear is, I'm here for you. Or they just like having a body next to them. And in her case, her husband was supposed to be her person, and she thought she could trust him, and they had a marriage together with 3 kids and everything else. He wasn't the person she needed. He was not there. He was invisible, and I know what that feels like. Again, not getting into extreme personal details, because this is the internet and stuff can get out and people will say things and things get edited and all this other stuff. And again, I'm just trying to make one point and one point only. Mental health needs to be a thing, and we need to acknowledge it. And if that means that we have to learn about it, study, figure out how to communicate with people, all that other stuff, then that's what we need to do. Because if people did what they were supposed to do, I don't think Lindsay would be in the situation that she's in right now. But we don't know. We only know what's going on right now. And I haven't been up to trial, so honestly, if this video gets posted and everything that I'm saying is completely long gone and past, sorry, haven't gotten around to say anything about it. And like I said, I did post something on TikTok, but again, I haven't had time to do videos. It's just been crazy. Not really, but crazy mentally. Not so much physically. Excuse me. But okay, so just to wrap everything up, and just so that everyone understands, this is something that we need to be aware about. She should have had the proper help that she needed, and she asked for it. And her husband and her mom were the 2 most important people that should have been there for her. And her mother-in-law was there for her more than her husband or her mom, which is fantastic, because sometimes in-laws are a little much. That's all I'm gonna say, much. I'm not gonna say anything else. It's just sad. She needed help. She cried. She screamed. And nobody listened. So in my opinion, I don't think she did it. And I think she was just struggling really hard and just needed some help. I feel for this woman because I'm a mom, and it is not easy being a mom, especially if you feel like you're the only one being the mom. So before I get all teary-eyed and stuff, sorry, I just want you guys to know this needs to be something that we need to talk about more. This is something that we need to be aware about more. And this is something that we, as a human race or human species, a country, we just need to stop and say, hi, how are you today? Because that one phrase could make or break somebody's day. And hopefully it's the latter to it, but sometimes people don't acknowledge it because of society. So it's sad. But I'm going to end this on a happy note and let everyone know that what is going on with her is awful. And I wish the best for her going forward.